This is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. I'm continuing my series on the four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. These are the chapters of the Bible where Jesus was alive and on earth. We are in Luke, which is the third book. Luke was the physician. He was a physician, and he was also a disciple or apostle. So here we go in chapter 7, starting in verse 18. Jesus and John the Baptist. The disciples of John the Baptist told John about everything Jesus was doing. So John called for 2 of his disciples, and he sent them to the Lord to ask him, "Are you the Messiah we've been expecting, or should we keep looking for someone else?" John's 2 disciples found Jesus and said to him, "John the Baptist sent us to ask, are you the Messiah we've been expecting, or should we keep looking for someone else?" At that very time, Jesus cured many people of their diseases, illnesses, and evil spirits, and he restored sight to many who were blind. He told John's disciples, "Go back to John and tell him what you have seen and heard. The blind see, the lame walk, those with leprosy are cured, the deaf hear, the dead are risen to life, and the good news is being preached to the poor." And he added, "God blesses those who do not fall away because of me." After John's disciples left, Jesus began talking about him to the crowd. "What kind of man did you go unto the wilderness to see? Was he a weak reed swaying by in every breath of the wind? Or were you expecting to see a man dressed in expensive clothes? No. People who wear beautiful clothes and live in luxury are found in palaces. Where you are looking for a prophet, yes, he is more than a prophet. John is a man to whom the scriptures refer to when they say, 'Look, I am sending my messenger ahead of you, and he will prepare your way before you.' I tell you, of all those who have ever lived, none is greater than John, yet even the least person in the kingdom of God is greater than he is." When they heard this, all the people, even the tax collectors, agreed that God's way was right, for they had been baptized by John. But the Pharisees and experts in religious law rejected God's plan for them, for they had refused John's baptism. "To what can I compare the people of this generation?" Jesus asked. "How can I describe them? They are like children playing a game in the public square. They complain to their friends, 'We played wedding songs and you didn't dance. So we played funeral songs and you didn't weep.' For John the Baptist didn't spend his time eating bread or drinking wine, and you say, 'He's possessed by a demon.' The Son of Man, on the other hand, feasts and drinks, and you say, 'He is a glutton and a drunkard, and a friend of tax collectors and other sinners.' But wisdom is shown to be right by the lives of those who follow it." I can't know the level of Jesus' frustration. He was a man. He was a very patient and wise man. But here we see that even Jesus Christ, no matter what he did, he couldn't win. If he didn't dine with the Pharisees, he didn't care about everybody. If he did dine with them, why is he dining with them? If he didn't dine with the tax collectors, he didn't care about them. If he did dine with them, what are you doing with those sinners? So no matter what he did, they twisted it. I feel like Jesus has been on YouTube because there are days that no matter what I do, it's wrong. And it feels like that sometimes. But you're doing good. And if most people like you, but it's not necessary in life for people to like you. It's not necessary for people to care for you. What's necessary is that when you look in the mirror, that you're satisfied that you've done good and you've done right, no matter what anybody else thinks. And do you think any of these opinions about John the Baptist or himself stopped Jesus from fulfilling his purpose? No, not at all. And he knew, as these people were being hypocrites, these people were saying all this gossip about him and John the Baptist, he knew that none of it mattered, that he was still going to die for everyone's sin. And John was still going to serve God and baptize people. He knew he had to die on that cross for everyone's sins, including and especially for these sins against him. Well, actually, he died for all sins and all of us, not just the people alive. But here Jesus gets to witness in person and feel the emotion of all that criticism. No matter what he did, no matter what John the Baptist did, they were wrong. And it's that way. It's that way for every individual to a degree, too. So when somebody's criticizing you and you ask yourself, what would Jesus do? He would carry on and fulfill his purpose. No matter if every opinion was against him, he would have done that. And we can see it right here from what he went through. You'll have a wonderful and blessed day, and don't let anybody bother you. Pray, read the Bible, and focus on your purpose.